Let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com, located at 114th and Davenport. They will help you with your FHA, VA, and, of course, conventional loans. Refinances, too. Doesn't always just have to be a new house. But they, unlike a lot of mortgage brokers, consider themselves to be counselors. They like to talk to you and figure out what it is that you're trying to do, learn about your financial situation, help you get that pre-approval letter, and then guide you through this entire steps, all the steps of the entire process, because it can be a little bit intimidating for people, especially if it's been a while since you have purchased a house. You can find them online at eaglemortgagecompany.com.
Fly with the Eagle.
And Trenton, first up on the docket, the Moxie by Marriott Hotel, which has been proposed but stalled.
11th and Harney.
12th and Harney, I believe it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's where the old Market Diner was located for all those years.
Yep.
It had been kind of languishing there, and a lot of people were calling us and sending us emails to Grow Omaha saying, is that project still on? Is that still happening? Well, there's a lot of construction equipment on the site. They've moved out the concrete barriers to give themselves a little more room. I've talked to a couple people who maybe are contractors or subcontractors on that project, and everything says, yep, full speed ahead.
I just remember the footprint is like 9,000 feet or something.
Tiny,
like that.
very urban.
Yeah.
It's a really cool concept, and I have not stayed in a Marriott by Moxie hotel. There aren't very many of them around the
But
country.
you've got a lot of Moxie.
Thank you. A couple retail buildings are planned for 156th and State Street. So this is darn near all the way to Bennington. We're starting, as you always say, and real estate people always say, retail follows rooftops, right? Well, in that 156th and State.
Rooftop follows churches and gas stations.
Okay, but that's a good point. But in that part of the metro, a lot of single-family housing construction over the last couple of years, a lot of it underway right now. So now you're starting to see the inevitable retail that comes in there. 10,000 square foot building and a 5,000 square foot building, southwest corner, 156th and State. Of course, that's also just north of that OPS High School, which will be in business this fall for the new school year. All right, next up on the docket, Trenton, we passed a, initiative or constitutional ballot sort of thing. There was a constitutional amendment on the ballot back in November to allow casino-style gambling in the state of Nebraska, but it has to be tied to a horse track.
Who would have thought?
Okay, it has to be tied to a horse track. Well, now everyone and his brother wants to have a horse track. And so
what could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Just this week, there were groups that are proposing horse racing tracks in Bellevue, York, Scottsbluff, Norfolk, and North Platte, Nebraska. Why? Because in Nebraska now, if you have a horse racing track, you can attach a dirty little casino or a big casino to it. And so I am just waiting until there's going to be some guy who wants to race two 12-year-old mules in his backyard so he can put up one of those South Dakota style gas station casinos in his living room. But so we'll keep our eye on this.
All I have to say about that, and I'm guilty of going to Vegas and imbibing a little bit and across the river even. So if you see me over there, don't judge. However, could you imagine, and our next guest might have something to say about that, could you imagine if Exarban became a casino, which a lot of people proposed.
Back in 1995.
And not the amazing mixed-use development that it is. Could you imagine?
Well, there is one thing I am imagining, and that is how long will it take, and I mean this with all sincerity, how long will it take before someone is trying to propose a horse racing track right in West Omaha so they can get a casino where all of that affluence is and all of that population? How long will it take before someone wants to shoehorn some sort of pathetic-looking horse racing track on the industrial track between Epley and downtown? I mean, I'm not kidding.
I'm looking forward to
Lake
Zorinsky Downs.
Zorinsky Downs. The other thing that I get a kick out of these horse racing tracks, the one of them has a proposed 2-day racing season. That is almost as short as
We thought about going 3, but we just didn't know if we had the market for it.
That is almost as short as the caddy swim at Bushwood Country Club.
1 to 115.
1 to 150. So at any rate, we're going to keep our eye on that. That could be kind of interesting. All right. If you love construction, and we do, there's no doubt about it, you have definitely got to see the Brad Williams Grow Omaha construction update on our website, growomaha.com.
We're talking helicopters.
It's so cool. Yeah, Brad, and you guys all know Brad. He's on the show all the time. But Brad, about 4 times a year, he charters a helicopter.
Yeah.
And he gets his still cameras up there. He gets his video camera up there. Well, much of this month's...
And he's not a small guy, ladies and gentlemen.
Brad?
He's tall.
He's ample. So much of this month's video was shot from the helicopter. So you have beautiful views of the riverfront park construction, of the Mercantile District, Builders District, the Millwork Commons area. There's a shot where he swings around the southwest part of downtown, and you see the aerial of the tower crane over the Juvenile Justice Center that's under construction. Got to see it. So if you go to growomaha.com, you click on shows in the navigation bar. There's a drop-down menu, and then on that drop-down menu, you can see construction update.
And that's right before on our YouTube channel that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Doesn't cost nothing. They don't send you a bunch of emails or anything like that. But we need our subscribers.
And then finally, construction equipment is working on site of the former Village Inn, and I can't remember what brand it was, but there was kind of like a downscale hotel. Was it Roadway maybe? But anyway, right around that Village Inn at about 78th and Dodge. This is going to be the Clove, really attractive looking 175 unit. $35 million project, 5-story building. J Development is doing it. And that construction equipment, I noticed this week, is full bore straight ahead on that project.
And they're doing the project down the street, the Swivel, just east of Crossroads.
That's really looking good. That's also 5 stories. They're the classic 5-story pedestal buildings.
I still don't understand how it's going to swivel on its foundation, but I don't think it will.
I don't know. Maybe they're going to surprise you.
That would be expensive, ladies and gentlemen.
That would be. Could you imagine the rent? But the building's looking great. And it's bigger than I thought it would, because for the longest time, now we're talking about the Swivel on 72nd, just north of Dodge, as Trent mentioned. For the longest time, they had the 5 stories in place for the part closest to 72nd Street.
Right.
Now that part to the east is all coming up, so that's going to be a really long, big building. A lot of units. All right, well, that's your development news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They know mortgages like nobody knows mortgages. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.